All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So that was an insane event, huh? UFC 261 just wrapped up, and my goodness, man, every single fight stopped with something that you were like, what? For the most part, right? I mean, just the main card, I can sum up the main card like this. It was the night of the accordions, right? You got people getting literally turned into human accordions, right? Masvidal, accordioned. Wei Li, accordion, just like, unfortunately, Chris Weidman's leg, accordion. Very, very sad, but, he'll be okay. It's better. Here's the thing, dude. That's a gnarly injury. It's better that than his head, man. It's your leg. You don't need your leg to, do the rest of your life, okay? You do need your brain, and it could have been a lot worse. Now, don't get me wrong. Devastating injury, obviously. But what are the odds of that, man? Like he beats Anderson Silva by checking a kick where his leg folds in half, and then he kicks the guy who just knocked out Anderson Silva and his leg folds in half. It's like, what? It's so bizarre, man. It's like almost like he made a pact with the devil. He's like, if you help me beat Anderson Silva, man, I will be, like some kind of weird thing that came full circle tonight. I don't know. It's so weird. Valentina Shevchenko is, God, she's so good. It's like, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, it makes perfect sense. But I'll tell you what wouldn't make sense is if she has anything else in her life. Like, I don't think she's ever watched television. I don't think she's ever dated anyone. I literally think that her entire life has been dedicated to like just perfection in all of the things that she takes on. She just speaks Portuguese now. Like, of course she does. Like, of course she speaks Portuguese. On top of being the best wrestler, the best jiu-jitsu practitioner, and the best striker at 125 pounds ever. So, I mean, I can't wait to watch her fight. And, this is the thing. When she fought Amanda Nunes last time, right? So for those of you who actually, let me start there. For those of you who do not remember the circumstances of Valentina and Amanda Nunes' two fights, I'll break it down like this. The first time that they fought, it was a 3-round fight, and they were both just contenders, right? This is during the Ronda Rousey, era. And Amanda Nunes won the first 2 rounds. She didn't really hurt, Valentina, but she definitely won. And then in the 3rd round, Amanda Nunes got real tired, and Valentina really started putting it on her to where it was one of those things where there was no question if it went 4 or 5 rounds, or if it went 5 rounds, that Valentina was going to win, right? Amanda Nunes was too tired to she was not going to be able to keep her off during the 4th and 5th round. I mean, so Amanda Nunes won the decision. She won the first 2 rounds, but everyone who watched it knew Valentina would have won if the fight had gone 5 rounds. Then they fought again, and it was one of those just absolutely magical surgical chess matches, right? Where neither of them really got hurt. And so to an untrained observer, it's kind of a boring fight. But if you understand how good they both are, it's like poetry in motion because obviously, if not the primary, the secondary thing in fighting or equal part in fighting is not getting hit, right? Is like taking chances, but not letting yourself get caught. And they're just, I don't know. The bottom line is it's a very close split decision that went to Amanda Nunes where there's no one who can say like she decisively won it all. It was a draw, it was like a stalemate. So they're it's Amanda Nunes 2 and Valentina Shevchenko 0, but not really. It's actually more like a draw and a draw. So when they fight again, that is going to be bananas. But anyway, that's the most that I've got on that one. She just completely outclassed and draw. It's a different class of fighter. I mean, there's just bottom line. Like Valentina Shevchenko is a different class of fighter. But speaking of that, let's go to the other girls' fight because first of all, this is one of those times. I don't even need to say it. I don't need to do I told you so. I don't need to do whatever. I straight up did an entire video dedicated to me directly saying, I am calling Rose, and the reason why I'm calling Rose is because of my read on her as a person, right? Like, that's all I do on this channel is just go, look, like, X's and O's, I can sound smart in a room of people kind of watching a fight together. If I'm doing like surgical breakdowns on YouTube versus all the best people in the world at doing surgical breakdowns, I don't stand out with that, Unless you're just watching because you like my personality. In that case, then, whatever. But the only place where I ever say that I stand out is my ability to read people, man. Like, is I can read people. And if you think that doesn't factor in, it's not always going to be the deciding factor. Look, like, there are skill sets that are just not, you can't overcome them. Like Usman and Masvidal, look, Usman is a much better fighter than Masvidal. Like, Usman's a much better fighter than anyone in that division. But, like, their mindset, I'm not sure if there's a mindset that could affect the outcome of that fight, right? But I can tell you, like, you're going to get the best version of this person, or you're going to get maybe like a light version of this person, whatever. And most of the time I'm right. In this case, I just looked at her. She's hitting pads. I was like, dude, she's going to win. Like, she's so dialed in. And I've seen her look like that one time before, and it was against Joanna the first time. Like, when lead up, and that's why I bet on her the first time. I just looked, I was like, with some people, they wear it on their face, in their body language. You can just see it, dude. You can see who they are. And with her, that's why I bet on her when she was in the first Joanna fight. No one picked her, dude. Like, picking her to beat Joanna the first time would have been like picking Andrade to beat Valentina tonight, and then having Andrade completely outclass Valentina like Rose did in the first Joanna fight. It's like it seemed impossible to people. I was watching it with a bunch of like Force Recon Marines, like these Special Forces Marine guys in Utah, and when I told them I bet on them, they were just like. They're like, okay, dude. It was the same night as George St. Pierre versus Michael Bisping. And I remember that because I remember where I was. I was with those dudes. And yeah, man. And then I was also the same night as Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw 2, if I'm remembering correctly. It was the second fight. I think it was the second fight. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. But it was the same thing. I could just see it on her, man. I'm like, she's going to win. Like, she's going to win. And that's why I did. I don't know if I've ever done a video like that last minute, like where I just straight up throw it out there. Just like, look, I just want to make my pick very clear on this. But I'm glad I did, because I don't want to have to be coming on here and just telling you guys, hey, I knew I was going to win. You're all, no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. But yeah, I'm very, very happy for it. I mean, what, dude, are you serious? Like, that kick was bananas. And like, look, here's, I'll say this too. Unless you have absolutely no experience even watching fighting, you saw exactly what happened right there. Everyone who's ever fought, anyone who's ever watched a significant number of MMA or kickboxing fights, you know exactly what happened there, right? Like, Wei Li thought for sure that was going to be an inside leg kick, and she just tried to move her lower half out of the way, and then that low kick hit her in the chin, Like, that's for sure what happened. She for sure thought that she was going to throw a low kick, and then whap, that shit came right upside her dome. And, man, that was, dude, talk about an accordion. She just kicked the life right out of her. That was crazy, dude. What a fucking kick, dude. And, listen, like, people are, oh, Wei Li's complaining. Oh, apparently there's going to be another knockout tonight. You got some fucking balls on you, pal. You think I won't throw you across the room? I will. Anyway, but Wei Li complaining, I don't know. I heard, like, some people I had a lot of people at my house tonight, and they're like, dude, she's complaining about that. I was like, guys, she was knocked out. Okay, like, she doesn't, like, she blacked out and then she came to, and then she's right back in it because she's a savage athlete. And to her, she's like, what the hell happened? Why would you have stopped the fight? Like, they don't interpret it as, oh, I just got folded in half and then you saved my life from an attacker who could have beaten me to death and I couldn't have defended myself. Like, that's not how they interpret it. They're there. They don't even realize, like, a shot like that she didn't see coming. She literally didn't see it coming. She's unconscious before she realized she got hit. It's not like if you've ever been hit heavy, right? And I'll be honest, I've never been knocked out like this. Like, I've never been knocked out with a shot. As a matter of fact, I've never been knocked out with a shot. But, like, and that's not because I'm super fucking vicious. It's just because I've just, I haven't fought enough probably. And the guys who could have knocked me out that easily were probably taking it really easy on me. But I'm just saying, I haven't been knocked out like that, flash knocked out. But I know, if you don't see it coming and you get hit like that and you're unconscious immediately, like, you don't feel the shot. So your lights are out. So she wakes up, she doesn't know what the hell's going on. Then she sees the replay. She's a little bit committed to it. So then it's just about, I don't know. Like, she gets a total pass on that. Like, she gets a pass. But Rose is amazing. I love the part where Joe Rogan goes, so you were saying to yourself, I'm the best. And she goes, I am the best. That was amazing, dude. That was amazing. I'm so happy for her, man. She's fucking awesome. She's awesome. And yeah, I don't really know who they would have her fight now. Like, there's actually a couple of real tough girls at 115 pounds, none with like a whole bunch of hype, but Rose is so good and so popular that they could probably put her against anybody and it'll do okay. Anyway, but that's that. Now, real quick before I talk about Masvidal and Usman, I'll just touch real quick on that Anthony Smith thing. So again, like as of me filming this, I haven't heard anything about this. Okay, what I said from the beginning is I was like, dude, I think he must have got hit in perennial nerve, right? Like, because like that shot kind of looked weird. Where it looked like kind of hit two places, like the front and the back. I don't know, like, and then so as soon as his leg kind of gave out, I was like, oh, he must have got kicked in the perennial nerve because like there wasn't anything there that would have hurt his knee, right? And I also, let me just say this. After the fight, during the speeches, I was out of the room. Okay, so like everybody was talking. So if they already said this on the on the broadcast that it was the perennial nerve, then I apologize. But like my hypothesis was, I was like, oh, it's a perennial nerve for sure. Like his legs rolling, he can't, like his foot's asleep, like he got hit in the perennial nerve. So but then after the fight, it was like no word yet on his knee, and I was like, what? Like his knee? What? I don't know. Like it didn't seem like anything could have happened to his knee, and his foot was rolling just like his perennial nerve got hit. So I don't know. I would be surprised if it wasn't just the perennial nerve that happened. But good for Anthony Smith, man. He looked sharp, dude. His jab was bananas. By the way, did you guys see his jab? I totally forgot about that until right now. Dude, Anthony Smith's jab was insane. That was so good, dude. That was so good. His jab was so good. Yeah, good for him. I really like that guy. He's like the workhorse guy that just like. I really like Anthony Smith. Good for him. And then now let's talk about Masvidal and Usman because, goddamn, man. Look, in case you missed the event, Kamaru Usman is no longer just a fucking wrestler, okay? He is a serious threat on the feet now. Going to Trevor Whitman's camp is the best possible thing he could have done. He has titanic power, dude. Listen, I realize anybody who gets hit square like that, like, is going to get knocked out, but that wasn't just getting hit square. Like, that, and what he said afterwards, fundamentals. Dude, here's one thing I will say. So I was watching with one of my buddies who's goes to Cesar Gracie's gym also, and I'm on the bag. I am always practicing that exact combo. I do that all the time. The step in, check hook, and then the cross right down the middle. I do that all the time. Just whap. He literally hit. That is the thing I practice, at least in the last few weeks. That's like the thing I've been practicing the absolute most. The lead left hook, cross down the middle. And God damn, son. And I heard Colby Covington in his press conference. He was like, whoa, that's a big thing that I need to talk about in a second. When we're talking about Masvidal Colby beef, I can't believe I'm going to say this, dude. I might be convinced now that the beef might actually be real. I'll get to that in a second though. But in his interview, Colby was like, he's so worried about wrestling. He's worried about getting taken down that he got hit with that shot. That's not what happened. Okay. Colby obviously is 1,000 times better fighter than me with 1,000 times better fight IQ. And maybe he's just talking on the microphone, but that's not what happened. That's just not what happened. Okay. What happened was Masvidal is in a stand-up fight. Usman throws a check hook and Masvidal bit on it and tried to counter. And, he leaned back and tried to counter and he left himself wide open and got hit right down the middle with a cross. That had nothing to do with him defending a takedown or being concerned about a takedown. Nothing. That's just not correct, what Colby said. But let me tell you so again, one more thing. Usman is the best 170-pound fighter ever. I'm going to say that right now. I will say that if I don't know about, okay, greatest is a weird thing. Here's what I would say. You get George St. Pierre on his best day, and then you give me Usman right now, and I personally would bet on Usman to win that fight. Just straight up. I just would. I realize GSP won all those fights in a row, but if you really think about Usman's won 18 straight fights. 18 straight fights, okay? And if you think about GSP's career, right? And you know what? I'm gonna do another video about this just because as I'm talking, I'm realizing this is a whole other video. But if you think about the progression of GSP's career, right? It was like he was a karate guy who had, decent grappling, but then Matt Hughes armbarred him. And so he starts focusing on grappling. He gets incredible at wrestling. And as he develops as a champion, he turns much more into a person who will take guys down and control them. And he stops, his stand-up was much more there to set up takedowns so he could just grind guys out. If you go look at his record, it's decision. I mean, it was just constant decisions, right? And now you look at Usman's, okay? Usman was decision. And then he's improving. Like he's getting, now, like Usman, as he develops, now he's finishing guys. He's finishing guys decisively, right? I mean, I know like Burns made it to the third round, but Usman in the second round beat the living shit out of him. And then he finished Masvidal in the second round. Like these are early in the fight knockouts. They're not talking like get a guy really tired and get him to quit. These are like power and precision knockouts. And he already was for sure equal to George as far as being able to take someone down and grind him out, because that's how he won every single fight. And so it's like they developed in opposite order. George was a striker who developed the wrestling. Usman was a wrestling who developed the striking. But George was never like a fucking murder machine knockout artist. And Usman, unless you were watching a different movie, he has titanic knockout power now. I mean, he knocked out Gilbert Burns with a jab in the last fight. I mean, or at least knocked him down before he finished him. That's a jab. Now, that cross that he threw it at, I mean, that's everything he had. But he accordioned Masvidal. He accordioned him. A guy who's never been knocked out before, completely smoked unconscious before he hit the ground. And I love Masvidal, man. He won. He wins like a champ. He loses like a champ. He's a badass. They should. Okay, I'll tell you this. If Conor loses to Dustin, 1,000% the next fight should be Conor versus Masvidal. 1,000%. 1,000%. If Conor wins against Dustin, you either give him a 155-pound title shot or you have him go to 170 and fight Masvidal. Because that fight, like Masvidal still, his stock is still real high. His stock's still real high. If he loses again, maybe not so much. You got one more really big money fight with Masvidal, and you could do the Colby fight, but you could do that, like, if Colby loses to Usman, but you're gonna have to, I mean, I guess you're gonna have to wait for a while, dude. Masvidal's gonna have to wait. But dude, if you, right now you got till July for the Conor fight, and then whatever that outcome is, and then you make that as the next fight, that's plenty of time for Masvidal to recover and get ready. And, I mean, that's just what I would suggest doing for sure. But man, Usman, dude, seriously, who's going to beat him, dude? Who's going to beat him? I mean, like, you already know how this is going to go. You get Colby next. He's, what the hell? You already know, like, you're going to get Colby next. He's going to beat Colby. Like, he's going to beat Colby. He's just a much better version of himself versus the one that fought Colby. Like, he beat Colby with straight punches. Okay, he has improved immensely since then on the feet. Like, immensely. I mean, does anyone seriously think that Colby has like a really strong shot of winning that fight? I don't. I mean, I feel and I love Colby, and I think Colby beats probably every other person in the division. But dude, he's not good. Like Usman is a whole other animal now, man. And then you got Leon Edwards, who looked very fast against Bilal Muhammad. Slightly different animal than Kamaru Usman, dude. So he's gonna beat those two guys. I don't know what the hell. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know. I should have looked further down at the 170-pound division, but I have a feeling we're going to be looking at, the George St. Pierre era where he's cleaned everyone out and they're just trying to dig up someone that can fight for the title, or Anderson Silva when he completely cleared out the division, and it's like, all right, Anderson Silva versus Patrick Cote, because there's no one else. Like, there's just no one else to fight. He's already beat everyone twice. So I just cannot even explain to you how impressed I am with that fucking guy, man. Usman is so good, dude. He was already the best 170 pounder in the world, and he's gotten, I mean, it's just, he switched, God, I mean, it's unbelievable how beneficial it's clearly been that he went and went to that camp. By the way, in case anyone is unclear on this, Trevor Whitman is Rose Namajunas' head coach, Rose Namajunas' head coach, and Kamaru Usman's head coach. Do you have a pretty good night tonight? I mean, both their opponents were like in comas. And did you see how calm he was? Did you see how calm he was when he saw Kamaru Usman knock Masvidal out? He literally just stood up like, of course this is what happened. What a badass, man. It makes me think that the sleeper pick to be the champion now after Khabib is Gaethje. I don't know. I have a, just because their camp is so strong, and the only person that beat Gaethje is Khabib, you know, since he changed up his game. And Khabib is that's a different thing, man. Anyway, very exciting night. I loved it. Great night of fights. The prelims were great too. That guy who fought Cowboy did as a bonus, let me just say, that was one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. So he beats Cowboy, then he spazzes out, right, in the octagon. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And he won't shake his hand. And everyone's like, what the hell happened? Like, what happened? They stick a microphone in his face. He's all, I don't want to talk about it. If you want to know what happened, go ahead, follow me on Instagram. This is my handle. I was like, oh my gosh. The guy had 14,000 Instagram followers. As a matter of fact, let me double check where he's at now. That was so smart, dude. That was so smart. I mean, you know, who knows? Who knows if he's going to get oops. I mean, he gained 4,000 or 5,000 followers. That's on, I mean, technically, I think he said follow him on Twitch. But, yeah, that was really smart, man. Anyway, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. Congratulations to all the champions and to the winners, and come back strong to the people who didn't win. But what an incredible night of fights, and having the crowds back was amazing. I seriously, I can't wait to watch Conor and Dustin fight with the crowd. I can't wait. I can't wait. This show really demonstrated how different it is with the crowds there. It's just a completely different deal, man. Anyway, love you guys. Peace.